Achtelfinale Nummer 2. Wir kommen zur Nummer 13 der Weltrangliste. Ein sehr erfolgreicher Pro-Tour-Spieler, hat auch schon ein European-Tour-Finale erreicht. Ist ein Weilchen her, vor 4,5 Jahren, 2012 in Sindelfingen. Aus Stoke-on-Trent, Ian Diamond White. Ian White tritt gegen den Vorjahresfinalisten an, die aktuelle Nummer 6 der Welt. Ein Mann, der 12 Pro-Tour-Turniere in seiner Karriere gewinnen konnte. Er stand in 4 Major-Finals. Hey, hier kommt Chizzy, Dave Chisnall!
Dave Chisnall, a finalist in the last 2 editions of this tournament, so on that basis he has to be considered for a second European Tour title, especially if you bear in mind the way he started his campaign yesterday, a 104.83 average in his defeats of James Wilson, one of 3 ton-plus averages we witnessed yesterday. And, well, he's up against a man who produced anything but those stats. 89.11, the average of Ian White in his 6-3 win over Peter Jakes. Jakes missing darts for a 2-0 lead as well, so it could have been a very, very different outcome indeed. White certainly facing a step up in class here, but a man who has certainly got the capability of going deep in a tournament like this. Paul Nicholson making his first appearance in what is a sweltering commentary gantry area for this one. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Rob. Isn't it just? It is very hot in here. There's a lot of people in this arena who've got changes of shirts, lots of water next to them. That's the right approach, because it's only going to get hotter as the day goes on, and I'm sure the darts will too.
Well, I think it's fair to say that
First leg, Dave to throw first. Game on.
Mensur Suljovic and Daryl Gurney set the tone very nicely indeed with that 11-leg encounter to start things off. Suljovic coming through as he did in that semi-final in Gibraltar.
93.
Very unusual to have George Noble call an 11-leg match this weekend. He seems to be getting every single one of them.
Yeah. Talking of Gibraltar as well, these two met in the semis in Gib last year. Chizzy coming through 6-0 that day. And they also met in the European Championship a few years ago as well. Chizzy winning that one 10-9. Not too many meetings then on the European Tour, the European circuit for these two. They did meet fairly recently in the Players' Championship as well. And again, Chizzy came through that one 6-5. So, as far as the relevant head-to-heads are concerned,
93.
maybe something to think about there. There are those who say it doesn't really matter. It's an independent event. It's all water under the bridge, and there is some logic to that, of course, as well. But if you keep beating players week in, week out...
100.
I'm thinking of hybrid players already. Ian Wright.
That'd be a story.
Yeah.
42.
Ian White's 1-1-2 in the first leg. It was a very good sign, because in the first leg you find out how you feel and how you've transitioned from the practice room. Obviously something's going right back there for Ian White.
120.
Because that 1-1-2 was picture perfect.
Yeah, something was going right for Dave Chisnall there, but he just didn't stay straight there, and that errant one might come back to haunt him. Let's see what Ian White can post here, though. much will depend on what Ian White can do.
60,
And he's
David
not
Moore,
got a treble, so there is room for manoeuvre here for Dave Chisnall. 119 away. Ton away. Tops away.
99.
Well, there's not much breathing room in this arena. It's very stuffy. But at least Chizzy's got a bit of breathing room in this leg. He's going to come back for double 10. Secretly told me a lot when I practiced with him, Chizzy, that he hated double 10. But he kept hitting it. It's an amazing ability to have, to not like a double and still be able to hit it. Great guide. Couldn't be a better guide if you'd have put it in the board. I retract. Maybe he likes double 5. Does on this occasion, 1-1.
Yeah, Chizzy, as I said at the start, made the final here last year, but I was also having a quick chat with him last night as well, and we were talking about venues in particular, and I get the impression with, not just with Chisnall, but with many players actually, as he rattles in another 180, that once they're on stage and the crowd is behind them, they really could be, not anywhere, of course, it's very different to a floor event, but on the European tour, often you just shut things out and it doesn't really matter where you are. I'm sure Chisnall didn't come here thinking, oh, I made the final 12 months ago. It's going to be a similar story here. I just don't think that plays a part in many darts players' minds.
I think there are dart players on the circuit who overcomplicate things and think about things too much. I will hold my hands up and say that I've done that. But Dave's not one of those guys. He gets up there and just does his job.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it's about mental training and getting themselves primed to do whatever is in the now, but that comes naturally to the man in yellow. It really does.
I suppose also maybe in the Premier League there's a case for it with the arenas. I mean, Leeds, for example, is more of a horseshoe shape, and you've got the crowd coming more onto the sides as well, and the O2 is just vast. Rotterdam is, I think you know where you are when you're in Rotterdam.
Don't you just?
Ian White knows where he is. He's very much involved in this third round match, and he's in control of this third leg here.
Yes, Dave, that's a 14. That leaves you 111, which means the beautiful scoring in this leg from Ian White gives him the opportunity to have a third consecutive break in this match. 9 and double 16 will be the route. Double 8 over the top of that one will be very nice. There it is. Well executed. Lovely shot. Does anybody want to hold their throw in this match? I can't think of a match off the top of my head where there was 11 breaks.
No.
But I'm sure our statos out there will find one of them.
Well, they're still looking for the percentages on double 14 for Sulic for you, Paul, so give them a chance.
Maybe that takes more than 24 hours to get that information.
Yeah, 3 legs going against the throw here. I'll tell you what I do know, stats, not quite off the top of my head, but I have remembered it from earlier. 60% of the legs so far this weekend on throw have been won. So only 40%. Mind you, I say only 40. I think that's a fairly significant number. 40% of legs won against the throw so far this weekend.
I think that's rather large for breaks of throw. I would imagine that a normal tournament, that would be around the 25% mark, possibly, maybe even lower.
Yeah, Steve Morgan from Sport Radar helping us out with that one. I mean, it's probably why I said it, because it stood 78. Out. It seemed bigger than what I was expecting it to be. Anyway, we digress once more.
81.
Yeah, Ian White will definitely know that he's got a different proposition today. Peter Jakes is the kind of game that Ian White expects to win. Peter Jakes makes things difficult for everybody, though. But it may not have been his most eye-popping performance yesterday, but it was very workmanlike. It's the kind of performance that he puts in, and he tends to take people out when they're not in their game. He's just too good for people when they bring their big game. But Chizzy yesterday I thought was excellent.
Yeah.
But that was very typical Chizzy. He can throw 104 and make it look like 84. It's just casually brilliant.
You played Jakes, didn't you, when he got to the final in Barnsley?
I was the first round victim.
Well, you were in good company, shall I say, because there were plenty of others who also fell by the wayside at the hands of Peter Jakes that weekend. I think Gary Anderson was another.
135.
James Wade as well.
124.
124, 64 left. Could it be another break? Yes, it is!
Oh, Chizzy.
It's getting better all the time.
Well, some of the checkouts we've seen today. 164 from Gurney in the second leg of that opener. Sulovic's 161 for a break of throw for 5-3 was absolutely sublime and a really well-timed break of throw with a diggy. A 112 from White to break in the opener here, and a 124 from Chizzy just now. I think the bar has been raised high here once again at the start of play today. And already George Noble's looking at another 6-5 scoreline here. Joe Cullen, by the way, 6-5 specialist on stage later. Up against Vincent van der Voort, who won 6-5 yesterday. That is another candidate for 11 legs.
Well, that's my game of the afternoon. Not just because, you know, Joe's involved, he's got a bit of swagger and crowd love him, but van der Voort, he has been the standout for me this week.
Yeah.
Just amazing games he's been involved in.
93.
Well, Chizzy on 303, got to look at the 19s now. We'll hope for another bit of green. Needs it to leave a finish.
95.
That's all right, because Ian White's under pressure in this leg a little bit. I'm talking to Andy Scott in the bar last night after the coverage, and
60.
we were having a discussion about averages back in the 70s when they weren't recorded, and there were people in the Indoor League TV show who were averaging over 100 back then. People like Cliff Lazarenko, Alan Evans. The knowledge of our stat man, Andy Scott, knows no bounds. Every single dart that's thrown on the European Tour, the ones that you see just like this, he remembers them all.
148.
And if Chizzy hits this 148, he'll remember this. Oh, hello. Ooh.
That idea I had yesterday for bringing players in on loan, he could have brought Mensur in there to take out that double 14 for him, played his joker, and he would have been 3-2 to the good. As it is, Ian White is looking at 60 here. Stepping over to the left-hand side a little bit. It's plumb in the middle, that second dart.
You can see the gesture from Ian White as if to say, I just needed to lift it a little bit.
Yeah.
And Dave Chisnall's got to be a little bit careful here. Double seven's a tricky one.
Could be our first holder throw. And it is. For Dave Chisnall. Good match this now. It's just a really good tussle between these two.
I used to wind Dave up a bit when I was practicing with him a few years ago. We used to play this game, which Dave, in my opinion, is the best at in the world, where you have to hit 10 100s, 10 100 plus scores, 10 140s, 10 doubles and 10 bullseyes, but if you hit 180 you get one of each.
Right.
And then the first to finish wins. On the doubles I would always go for double 7. And it would just wind him up, he didn't understand why.
60.
Should try that game at home. Anybody out there who wants to get better, it can take anything from 15 to 20 minutes to up to about 2 or 3 hours, depending on how you're playing.
100.
Dave Chisnall once did that game in probably about 8 or 9 minutes because he hit something like 7 or 8 180s, and that's what he does.
No.
As you can see from the averages, Ian White has lifted slightly by about 5 or 6 from yesterday, but Dave's come down about 6 or 7, so that's why they're so close right now. Of course, this isn't the only tournament that's going on today. Challenge Tour taking place back in the UK. Got to send out a big congratulations to Warwick Sheffer of South Africa, who picked up his maiden Challenge Tour title yesterday. Well done to Warwick.
Yeah, we've seen him on the European Tour this year as well, and I'm pretty confident we'll see him again. 99 for Ian White to level things up. Well, that would have left double 16, but he will be back.
Yeah, no panic there. Just a nice, easy setup. If he hits the bull on the 82, it's a bonus. This way he comes for the top of the shop. Open target, 3 darts in hand. Shouldn't be a problem. Isn't. 3-3. All of a sudden, legs are starting to be held, and this is getting pretty close.
Yes, it is. The winner of this to face the winner of our first match today. That was Mensur Sulovic. The order of play today follows the draw bracket, so it's nice and easy to follow, as it always is the case on the European Tour. 8 matches in the afternoon session in the third round, and the quarterfinals, the semis, and the final itself from 7 o'clock tonight local time. So Sulovic waiting the winner of this one. Stephen Bunting, Kyle Anderson on stage next. They will face either Peter Wright or Christo Reyes. Andy Hamilton and Michael Smith up against Vincent van der Voort or Joe Cullen. And then Peter Hudson or Alan Norris, whoever comes through that, will face either MVG or Mervyn King, who meet once again on the European Tour. They've had an abundance of encounters over the past.
Well, with the conditions today, I see a distinct advantage to the guys playing early today, because they can go back to the hotel, freshen up again, as opposed to the guys playing later on this afternoon. They've got less time to work with and probably will have to stay here all day.
Chizzy in the money once again.
140.
In this situation, it'll be interesting to see what Ian White does. Does he go 18s first or even bull first? 15s potentially. That's where I'd go. Just square off that 5 and give yourself the opportunity of leaving 170.
Yeah.
Chose to just bide his time. That's a flyer from Chizzy. Close at the top. Smooth. That was just a sweaty one.
I think so. He said also last night that he doesn't bring a towel on stage because I don't know whether he was joking, but he said, I might lose it. I think, how can you lose a towel? So he wipes his hands on the curtain that drapes over the table, which isn't. Well, if everybody did that, it wouldn't be very pleasant, would it?
No,
Anyway.
you don't want to grab it too hard, because we have had water incidents on stage, namely when Michael van Gerwen spilt the water down under, and it put him off more than it did Raymond van Barneveld. But Chizzy's already had a 1-2-4 in this match. A 1-2-7 would be very sweet right now. He will get a shot at 8-8. Just checking with the ref. It is in the treble. 8-8 for the leg.
He looked disappointed, actually. I think he might have preferred the bullseye.
119. And you require 7.
Sure, he didn't, but he just seemed... He had a look of disappointment on his face when George Noble told him that it was a treble 17. Anyway, Ian White, once again, 52 away. 16s for a steal and another break.
54.
And he's some way inside as well.
You require 8.
Can't really see Dave missing this. Both guys mopping the brow, drinking a lot of water. Got to stay hydrated up there. 4. No problem. Right next to his favourite 18. And Dave did gesture at the start of this match on his walk-on to one of the security guards that he might even undo his top button, and he never does that. So it must be hot in here.
140.
Got to stay stylish, Chizzy. Keep that top button on. Keep the top button done.
Yeah. Again, another stray first dart from Chisnall this time.
78.
A lot of people do use different things to keep their hands in optimum condition. Things like bits of wax, chalk.
140.
Remember when Keith Deller was playing darts, he'd have chalk on his darts and he'd look like CSI had been on the board. Chizzy, just brilliant there. There are many other things you can do to your hands to put them in prime position. I know that people have used sandpaper just to rough their fingers up, and even rough up the darts as well.
140.
You've got to find something that works for you. For me, it's always blow on the hands and wipe them on the trousers, and usually feels all right after that.
55. And you require 81.
Well, Ian White with a very healthy average at the moment. It's nudging 100, and if he takes out this double 12, then He'll be looking to maintain that average and get back on level terms here, and it's
69.
just inside the wire this time.
Well, the main reason he'll be disappointed about not hitting that double 12 is just the guide was so perfect.
58.
All he's got to do is
In
throw
required
a half-decent dart, and it's in. And I feel his disappointment, but he won't be disappointed if he hits double 6. And there it is, and he's got someone in the crowd who really wanted to hit that.
To throw first. Game on.
I don't know whether to read too much into these individual dart averages, but Ian White's third dart average is significantly higher than his first dart and the second dart average. So it's like he needs a couple of bites at the cherry before he finally pings it. Let's see what happens here. Single 20.
Well, he's a good rangefinder, Ian White. He does adjust very, very well.
Well, he didn't adjust well there, so that blows my theory out of the water.
The old commentator's curse, but
just something to keep an eye on. I think it's more relevant with the actual first dart average rather than
83.
the third dart average. If you're not really posting or if you're posting a significantly lower first dart average, it's how you recover from that.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to look at it. First dart isn't bad there. Third dart should be in.
140.
It's all right though. It's a pivotal point in this match. Averages can pretty much be thrown out the window in a second because
100.
it's squeaky bum time.
Yeah, and I think we'll have more missed darts at doubles. I think we could have maybe a situation where both players have matched darts as well. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that was the case, given the abundance of missed match darts we've had this weekend so far. I think that trend will continue here this weekend. The conditions are just set up for that, aren't they, really?
Yeah, it's ripe for it. And it has been rather weird how many match darts have been missed.
168.
That's absolutely brilliant timing from Dave Chisnall, just producing a wonderful visit like that just when he needed it most as well. Okay, it's on his throw, but it's just a little reminder for Ian White.
121. Davey requires 16.
He looked on course to post a significant reminder of his own there, but he's still 95 away. Chizzy looking at double 8.
Well, it's academic. Chizzy straight into the double 8.
Game on.
Will it be another 6-5? 11-leg game. Only Ian White has got something to say about that, because I know Dave Chisnall wants to win this leg and get off stage.
Yeah, he won't want to hang around too much longer, and he won't want the agony of a final leg decider.
These guys have been seeds for quite a while. Dave Chisnall had a little period where he wasn't a seed and had to go to qualifying. Fixed that pretty quickly. But Ian White, it feels like he's been a seed
100
since the incarnation of the European Tour. I can't remember the last time he wasn't a seed. Just a picture of consistency.
And now we see frustration for Chizzy there.
82.
Shaking his hands violently after those first two darts.
I think he may be having a word with his manager, Roger Shane, after this match. Come what may. Get me a towel, Roger.
134.
I can imagine darts in the BC era. You'd probably have some people wafting palm leaves on the sides. And then we'd have the players whinging that there's a draft.
Well, Chizzy, 171 with 9 darts in this leg. And it's just allowed Ian White to open up a bit of a cushion here. It's on the white throw.
100.
Now Chizzy might already be thinking about the next leg and ensuring he holds, because this one is just slipping out of his fingers, literally, as well.
60.
Well, Ian White looks the most relaxed of the two, and he's the one that's under pressure to hit this 107. He's got plenty of time, but he might want to make a statement. And that 15 was right in the middle of the single. Ominous. What a great finish. Beautifully thrown. We're going all the way again. George Noble with another smile. Another 6-5 for him.
Yeah, and it's not lost on the scorer either. Fabian, I believe his name is.
Yeah, I think it is.
107 checkout for Ian White, who forced a decider. Chizzy posting a big average yesterday, won't care one jot about his average here as long as he gets over the line. 140 to start things off, that's more like it for Chizzy. You just fear, had he had a 60 to start things off there, he might just have lost the plot completely.
59.
And that will be further encouragement for Dave Chisnall as well.
Oh, the top button has come undone.
It's come undone. Big breaking news here on PDC TV. Not seen that on the European Tour before, I'm pretty sure of that.
I don't think I've ever seen Dave Chisnall throw a dart in the PDC with his top button undone, so it's probably going to be on TMZ in the morning.
Yeah, it's another below par visit for Ian White. Ton from 6, not the required product at this stage of proceedings, and Dave Chisnall is threatening to pounce all over it once again, and he does so with a ton 40. And Chizzy is an overwhelming favourite now to take this decider and advance to the last 8 tonight and a meeting with Mensur.
It's a mouth-watering game, isn't it?
140.
Well, he's not there yet. Let's not write Ian White off just yet, but Dave Chisnall, you'd rather be in his shoes right now. 1-2-1 away. 101 away. Went for the treble 17 that would have left the ball. Whether he'd have gone for the ball, we'll never know.
Well, the treble 16 would have left double 18, but he's got choices with the 68. He's going to be under how much pressure? Might go bull here.
97.
But chose to leave 164. If he'd hit the treble, it would have been 130. I think that's good thinking.
Well, treble 16, double 10 is an option. I don't think he'll do that. No, he's gone for the 20s. Tops them. And there it is. And Dave Chisnall comes through a real war of attrition there with Ian White. Much to write home about in that one as far as the finishing was concerned. A 1-1-2 checkout from Ian White for a break of throw in the opener set the tone. Another 1-2-4 from Chizzy in reply, just as he did yesterday. But that missed start at double 16 for another break, really handing the initiative back to Chizzy in the 7th. And despite that late flurry from Ian White, it's Chizzy who comes through in the final reckoning, and he will meet Mensur Suljovic in the quarterfinals later on this evening. Stephen Bunting, Kyle Anderson on the way next. Let's grab a few words from Chizzy. He'll be speaking to our MC Ellen Apple.
Hey, congratulations. These are these difficult matches you need to win if you want to win tournaments, right?
Yeah, very difficult. The heat plays a big part of that game then. We both struggle at scoring. One person gets one leg in front, he comes back, vice versa. But I managed to have a good leg in the last leg of my darts, so very happy to win. Great crowd as usual.
Yeah, they're great, huh? But what I wanted to say is it's so easy when it's running, it's easy to win matches. These matches are difficult to win when you're not playing that well and not playing the 100%.
Yeah, they're difficult. It's not that we're not playing well, it's hard because of the heat. Like half of my darts are going, they're like, there. Should be going there. But I managed to win, and that's the main thing, and I'll try better next game.
And the heat is a good preparation for the World Matchplay?
Right, it's good for next week when I go to Tel Aviv.
Okay, thank you very much. See you later. Dave Chisnall.